Have you ever noticed that the harder you try to ignore the ringing, the louder it seems to get? It's like trying not to think about a pink elephant. The moment you force yourself to forget it, it becomes impossible to ignore. And here's the truth no one ever told you. You're fighting the wrong enemy. For years, I've watched people wage a daily battle against this noise in their ears, trying to drown it out with loud music, avoiding silent environments, forcing their minds to focus on anything else. But do you know what happens when you fight your own body? You always lose. Because this ringing isn't an external invader you can kick out. It's a warning signal, a cry for help from nerve cells that are starving. And while you try to fight it with willpower, the real problem keeps getting worse deep down in your brain chemistry. Let me explain what's really going on. Imagine your brain as an orchestra. When all the musicians are well-fed, rested, and their instruments are tuned, the music is harmonious. But when essential nutrients are missing, when stress drains resources, when nerve cells can't communicate properly, what you hear is dissonance, noise, ringing. The big mistake is thinking you need to force these out-of-tune musicians to be silent. In reality, what they need is nutrition, oxygen, and chemical balance. And this is where most approaches completely fail. Most doctors will give you medications that only temporarily block the signals. It's like putting duct tape over the musicians' mouths. The problem is still there. It's just hidden. Sound therapies try to create a different noise for you to get used to. It's like playing another song on top of the out-of-tune orchestra. But the dissonance remains. And you keep suffering. You keep having ruined nights. You keep losing patience with the people you love. You keep feeling more and more isolated in this private hell that only you can hear. That's why I completely changed my approach. Instead of trying to fight the ringing, I began researching ways to nourish and restore the auditory nervous system, to give the brain exactly what it's been asking for to function properly again. And what I discovered was a natural combination that works in a completely different way from anything you've ever tried. This formula acts through three fundamental components that work in perfect harmony. The first component is a substance known as GABA. It's a natural compound that the brain itself produces, but it gets depleted quickly in situations of chronic stress. GABA acts like a brake for overstimulated nerves. You know when the ringing feels like it's screaming in your ear? That happens because auditory neurons are firing non-stop, like an out-of-control machine gun. GABA calms this excessive firing, dramatically lowering the volume of the ringing. The second component is mumio, a rare substance extracted from the Rocky Mountains of Asia. It contains more than 85 minerals and bioactive compounds that act like an extremely powerful multivitamin for the nervous system. Think of it as premium fuel that restores the vitality of damaged brain cells and regenerates neural connections that were failing. The third component is alpha-GPC, a highly absorbable form of choline that the brain uses to produce acetylcholine, a neurotransmitter essential for communication between nerve cells. When acetylcholine levels are balanced, the brain processes sounds correctly, stops creating phantom noises, and mental clarity returns. When these three elements combine inside your body, something remarkable happens. Auditory neurons stop firing uncontrollably. Nerve cells receive the nutrients they've been missing for so long, and brain communication starts working the way it should. The result? The ringing begins to fade, naturally, without force, without fighting. But I need to be honest about timing. This is not a magic trick. It's a deep restoration process. In the cases I personally followed, the first signs usually appear between 2 and 4 weeks of daily use. The ringing becomes less intense. Periods of relief grow longer, and you begin to notice that you can relax without that constant tension in your head. But the complete transformation happens around the 2nd and 3rd month. That's when the ringing stops being the center of your life. When you wake up and realize you slept through the night without being disturbed. When you can have a conversation without straining to hear. When you finally reclaim the mental peace that this cursed noise stole from you. That's why the recommendation is always consistent use for 3 to 6 months, because the nervous system needs that time to fully rebuild, layer by layer, cell by cell. And here's an extremely important warning. There are many people selling counterfeit, adulterated, or expired products online. And the problem isn't just wasting money. It's putting substances into your body that can do more harm than good. If you decide to try this natural approach, just below this video, I've left the official manufacturer's link. It's the only way to guarantee that you're receiving the authentic product, made in certified facilities in the United States, with strict quality and purity controls. And there's something that gives you total peace of mind. You're protected by a full 90-day guarantee. If for any reason it doesn't work as expected or you don't adapt, you can request a 100% refund. No hassle, no awkward questions. But I'll tell you something very few people know. The return rate is practically non-existent. Do you know why? Because when you stop fighting and start nourishing your body properly, when you finally experience what it's like to lie in bed and hear absolutely nothing, when you realize you've regained your focus, patience, and joy of living, you understand that this is the solution you've been looking for all along. If you're tired of fighting a losing war against this ringing, if you've tried everything and nothing truly worked, if you want to stop suffering and finally give your brain what it needs to function in peace, click the link below. There you'll find all the detailed information about this natural formula, a complete explanation of how each ingredient works in your body, the scientific foundations behind this approach, and testimonials from people who stopped fighting and started living without ringing. My goal is not to sell you an empty promise. It's to show you that there is a smart, natural path, because stopping the fight, nourishing your nervous system, and finally living in silence is not giving up. It's choosing the right strategy.